Welcome to part 2 of our two-part series entitled Mount Shasta, Sacred Mountain Bathed in Mystery. Today, we look at the mysteries and stories surrounding the awe-inspiring Mount Shasta. Let's begin with the First Nations of the indigenous American people who recognized something special about this holy mountain long before any settlers set foot in the region. Local First Nation American peoples have a significant and long-standing connection to Mount Shasta, which is considered a sacred place for those living in the area, including the Shasta, Achumawi, Modoc, and Wintu First Nations, most of whom can trace their lineages back over many generations. Mount Shasta is known as Wakanuni, Tokiuki, to the Shasta people. It is named after the Great Spirit, who is believed to have brought their people to this ancestral home. The name means to walk around and around, but never on top. The sacred mount is only traversed when seeking purification. According to Shasta lore, the area above the tree line has been reserved for the gods, so a Shasta person would only travel there under very special circumstances. The Shasta believe that the mountain should be left in an unaltered state after any human activity there. There are several First Nation legends about the origin of Mount Shasta. One of these is from the Shasta people, where the old man above, also known as Charea, carved a hole in the sky with a stone and pushed ice and snow through it until he made a great mound rise up from the plain. Stepping from cloud to cloud, he climbed down until he finally reached the icy mass that was the earth. When the sun shone through the hole in the sky, it began to melt the ice and snow, which turned into streams, watering the trees he had planted by digging his fingers into the earth. And so, Mount Shasta was born. Another legend, known as Mount Shasta and the Great Flood, tells how the character known as Coyote avoided floodwaters by escaping to the top of Mount Shasta, where other animal people joined him. Once the floodwaters subsided, leaving dry land among lakes and marshes, the people of the animal kingdom came down the mountain, scattering everywhere, making new homes for themselves, and becoming the ancestors of all the animal peoples on earth. The Wintu First Nation also has strong historic and ongoing connections to Mount Shasta. Originally, 9 bands of Wintu, which means people, resided on Mount Shasta. There are now only 3, one of which is the Winnemem people. This group originally numbered more than 10,000. However, there are now only around 125. Deeply connected to nature, their religious practices have always included the care of holy places on land near and on Mount Shasta. They consider the area their special place of worship and look after the mountain, water, and its sacred sites through ceremonies, prayers, songs, and dances. There are also stories from Modoc First Nation about the existence of the elusive Bigfoot, crossing the line between reality and myth. The Modoc word for Bigfoot is Matakakmi, known as the keepers of the woods. People over the years have reported sightings of a Bigfoot at Mount Shasta, and while others dispute their existence, it seems there are many mysterious and compelling forces that keep the fascinating and enigmatic aura of this mountain alive. More recent stories also abound about Mount Shasta that draw spiritual seekers from all over the world to this mountain. There are accounts of the lost continent of Lemuria lying hidden beneath the mountain, tales of ascended masters appearing on the slopes, and numerous UFO sightings. These incredibly mysterious-looking phenomena are the lenticular cloud formations that are often observed around the mountain and thought to be UFOs or visual cover for spaceships. While the lens-shaped clouds can be explained from a scientific point of view, adding to their enigma is the way these clouds may appear and disappear relatively quickly, and science cannot explain away all the numerous mystical happenings and sightings occurring on the mountain. The notion of a race of Lemurian people living inside Mount Shasta was likely first ignited in the 1880s, when a teenager, Frederick Spencer Oliver, wrote a spiritual novel called A Dweller on Two Planets. The story tells how Lemurians live beneath the mountain in a series of secret tunnels. Mr. Oliver said that he wrote the book with the channeled assistance of a spiritual being named Philos the Tibetan, who conveyed a true personal account to him over the course of 3 years. The book was published after Mr. Oliver passed away at the young age of 33. Afterwards, esoteric legends emerged about a mystical temple inside the mountain, mysterious lights, a secret tunnel entryway, and spaceships coming out of the slopes. In the early 1920s, the esteemed Madame H.P. Blavatsky, vegetarian, founder of the Theosophical Society, also wrote about the link between Lemurians and Mount Shasta, further kindling the idea of a lost civilization. Another book was published in 1931 by Rosicrucian author and mystic Frater Dr. Harvey Spencer Lewis, titled Lemuria, the Lost Continent of the Pacific. His book kept a fascination with Lemuria alive. The legends of Lemuria are numerous, with some believing that the history of Lemuria goes back millions of years to when the lost continent stretched all the way from the western United States to lands in the Indian Ocean. After an upheaval in civilization some thousands of years ago, Telos, a city of light, was created inside Mount Shasta for the Lemurians to live in, where they would be safe from any disruptions on the Earth's surface. It is believed that over 1 million highly evolved Lemurians may live there today. Lemurian society is described as an earthly paradise, highly spiritually advanced, and an inspiration for humanity as a civilization of peace and abundance. According to the book Telos, The Call Goes Out from the Hollow Earth and the Underground Cities by Diane Robbins, published in 2000, the Lemurians have created a heaven on earth in their underground world. She puts forward the idea that they are anticipating coming out only when humanity is ready to learn from them and to replicate their noble example here on Earth. The author talks about Lemuria being an advanced civilization with their own central sun, oceans, and mountains, all in a pristine form. There are other stories reported over the years of beings with long flowing hair, about 7 feet or 2 meters tall, clad in white robes, buying supplies in the local general store and paying with chunks of gold, but vanishing before the shopkeeper could give them change. In the early 1930s, American mining engineer Guy Warren Ballard described encountering the venerated Ascended Master Saint Germain vegetarian on the mountain while hiking. Master Saint Germain is said to have revealed sacred secrets that had been guarded for many centuries, awaiting the cosmic moment for humanity's awakening. The blessed truths were faithfully recorded in books by Mr. Ballard, and these became the basis for the teachings of the Saint Germain Foundation. Mr. Ballard's book, Unveiled Mysteries, explains his encounter with the Master in detail, and he reveals the teachings of both Saint Germain and other ascended masters who exist in a higher realm. In the book, he says, "I was led step by step to realize and accept the mighty God presence within my own being." The meeting on the mountain was the origin of the I Am movement, started by Guy Warren Ballard, that reached over 1 million followers in the late 1930s. The organization is still popular today, and each summer, many visitors attend pageants at the Germain Amphitheater in Mount Shasta City. Another legend tells of a British gold prospector, J.C. Brown, who found an underground city inside Mount Shasta in 1904. Apparently, he unearthed a cave that sloped downwards for 11 miles, or 18 kilometers, into an underground village. The cave was filled with gold, shields, and mummies, some reported to be up to 10 feet, or 3 meters tall. Mount Shasta is certainly a peak of spiritual significance to a great number of people for many different reasons. From the First Nation peoples to present-day spiritual seekers, as Mount Shasta continues to enchant and delight those who are drawn to it, may this revered mountain inspire us all to reconnect with our God nature within. For more information on Mount Shasta, please visit mtshasta.gov.
Could you actually physically kill the animals that you eat? I believe that consuming animal products directly causes immense pain and torture, and is incredibly destructive. Peter Abdon, vegan.
Noble viewers, thank you for accompanying us today.